Today we're going to be taking a look at Aliens Fireteam Elite running on the 1135G7. Now, this was recently actually added to the Game Pass, so I was very interested to try it out. I remember when this was actually announced and seeing the trailer, and I was interested in it just because it's a co-op shooter and I love playing those, but it's an Aliens game, and Aliens games tend to be pretty bad, and Alien Isolation is a completely different thing because Alien and Aliens are really two different things. But this is running at 720p with the settings at the lowest possible and the in-game resolution set to 50%. So we are running at half of 720p. The game is struggling to do this, and it is very clear that this is just not going to be a very fun experience. I couldn't stomach more than 15 minutes of this. Like, I'll be honest, I pretty much just recorded 15 minutes and then it was just like, you know what? I'm done. You'll see that the FPS is fine here in this area. You'll see like, oh, what's the issue? It's 60% average. That's the issue. Those stutters that you see there happen so frequently and it's brutal. And when that happens, the input lag is atrocious and it happens so frequently. It's such an inconsistent experience. Those 1% lows are just brutal. It is just not a good experience. And already the quality is really bad. You know, dropping down to 720p, that's fine. Dropping down to half of 720p, that's too low. It's too low of a resolution even for this 14-inch screen. It was just brutal. You couldn't do it. You know, I couldn't do it. I couldn't stomach this. It was just, it was not an enjoyable experience. And this is just like the beginning. There isn't even really that many enemies on the screen. If it gets any more than this is going to turn into a slideshow. And there's not really much more that I could do to fix this. I mean, these enemies are xenomorph-like, I guess. In the distance, they really just look like blobs that are coming at you. You know, like it takes away a lot of the atmosphere of the game. You know, like there were major sacrifices made to get it to be this playable right here. And again, the averages look good. The FPS right now looks fine. You know, getting 78, that seems pretty great until the stutter kicks in and then you're just a slideshow. And again, I couldn't stomach more than 15 minutes of this. This was not a good experience, you know, because like I would be able to handle the visuals if the performance was smooth as butter. And that is not what we're getting here. We are getting a very inconsistent experience. I would just say skip this. If you got to go down to this settings to get this level of performance, it's best to just play a better game. I mean, if you're willing to go down even lower in the quality, you're going to get a better experience, but I don't think it's worth it, you know? Just play Left 4 Dead. Left 4 Dead is going to give you a better experience than this, you know? Yeah, it's older, you know, like the gameplay is a little different, but the gameplay is playable. You know, I mean, just look at those frame times just dancing up and down anytime we load into a different area and just the action kicks in. It's just unplayable. It was brutal. I mean, I'm interested in playing the game, don't get me wrong. This isn't any fault of the game itself. I'm sure it would be fine. I mean, there are elements there that seemed interesting to me, but this is definitely one of those things where I'm going to be mostly playing it on my main gaming machine, and it is not going to be touching my laptop at all because this is just not a good experience, you know? Like, I mean, if this was a Wii game, I'd say this was the best looking Wii game, but it's not a Wii game. This is a modern game released this year. I think it was this year. And it just was not a good experience. Not worth the 30 gigabytes of space that it takes up. But anyways, that is it for me. Be sure to subscribe if you're not subscribed to see more games that might or might not run on the system. I mean, this is definitely one of those things where if you're very loose with the term, you know, run or playable, I guess you could say it's a win, but I consider this a huge bust. So I'll see you guys.